girls' education was given importance in my family. So, going to a good school, going to a good college, and getting a good job. That with that mentality, like with that mindset, we were brought up. The surrounding areas where we grew up, also, it's like that. But one thing is that being a girl and a boy, without understanding that what is patriarchy, and I do not even understand at that time when I was a school going girl what is patriarchy, what is the gendered role. But without understanding that, I was also pushed and I was brought up, and I was asked to do roles according to the patriarchal setup of what a girl should be, how a girl should be, which subject a girl can study or a boy can do, where the girl should put the limit, what kind of dress she should wear, how she would behave, how even like where and when she can smile, so that you are not considered as the other girl, where you are exposing themselves in the means that in a conservative tone, like you are a person who are not inviting yourself to the boys. So without understanding the very issue of gender sensitivity, gender sensitization, what is gender role or patriarchy, I'm also part and brought up in that society. But there was a feeling in me that when I was small and as a girl also, that why is it that always that girls are restricted to do this, to say do like this, don't wear that. But many of the boys do not say. And even for example, I saw in my neighbors or even within my relatives that okay, uh, to my cousins who are girls also, try to help your mother in the household work, do this, do that. If you don't know how to cook, then when you get married, you will be landing in problem and your in-laws will blame us. But they never said this to some of my cousins who are boys. That was very intriguing to me, and that why that only girls have to bear this burden. I did not know, so it was taught that this is the role that a girl or a woman should do. That's what it did. And boys are behaving that they are like that, who are going outside and all. There was question that girls should also do the same thing, even like in many a time I broke protocols when I was a girl. Sometimes like even like I bunked class also because I felt bored. And usually girls don't bunk class, but we have group of girls, we do like that. And somebody says don't do it, we do it. So like we were saying like, oh, they are a group who are a little bit spoiled brat because their parents are like that. No, they can lead a little bit of spoiled brat life. We were considered like that. But I see that many of my own friends circle, many of my own relatives, they are not able to come out, and till today also. And the issue of gendered, and from that mindset only, the gender harassment of gender-based violence that we are seeing has been groomed from that type. I may have gone through a gender-based violence by putting me to certain restrictions, by voicing out certain things which I should have done, but it doesn't happen. Whatever that I was doing, that work I had to leave is because you know that women, they say that their marriage is place, or the marriage has impact in their life. So after marriage I had to migrate to Delhi NCR, because both of us and my husband is based in NCR at that time. So it was difficult as a family to live apart. Okay, okay. Okay, let's have I am in a doing in the social sector, especially as a women's activist who are working for the rights basis of issues of the women, and then looking into the women issues, especially gender-based violence in the workplace, capacity of women to be aware about the rights and about their working conditions, and then grooming them to be leaders in our organization so that they can lead other women. You know, frankly speaking, when I got this opportunity to work with these women workers, and after starting interacting with them and all, that gave me a lot of reflection about even myself and about my life. And then whatever that we were discussing, how far am I also part of it? How far I have also faced those situations the women faced, and this has been going on. Discussion has been going on, but why it's not making a lot of change? Then where should the change come from? Where should one begin from? Am I a part? We are talking about that we should be changing this, we should be doing this and all. Am I starting from the beginning? Am I able to come out from it? So this work helps me a lot in reflection, and there was a lot of internal fight, and even within the household also, like there's a lot of questioning, and then there were a lot of discussion on gender roles, and then there were a lot of like the patriarchal that set up, that mindset has happened in the minds of people. My family also not outside of it, my family also part of it, but you have to struggle, you have to take a stand. And why women are not able to take a stand, when I have experienced it myself, then I know that why they are not able to experience that. And it's a kind of support system for those women who are not able to come up, who are not able to speak up, how to make them speak up, how to take a stand. Because for 5 years, 10 years, you are say, facing the same problem. For how long will you let your daughter also suffer like you? Will you silence your daughter? So, but this has been going on like that. For me, it's like it's a home for me, because I have been like I have been a part in many of the occasions with a like a Gurgaon part, and working with here, staying here and all. I myself feel like I'm more a Gurgaon than I feel myself more like a Gurgaon than an Imphalite, where I was born and brought up. But the thing that the local Haryanvi people are mentioning about is that you are coming far away from your home. That kind of monitoring by the people in your own hometown, like, it's not there. Here people are living their own independent life. If you want to become good, if you want to become bad, it's in your hands. Nobody is going to tell you what you are doing is good or what you are doing is bad. You can do whatever you want. So if you are not able to maintain that balance, this happens. That's why I've seen many of the villagers coming from Bihar, from UP, who are very conservative. You cannot even think, they cannot even think about doing this kind, for example, living. They are doing here. So according to the eye of the local Haryanvi, अब बिना शादीशुदा के उसी की गांव में जो बस रहे, उसकी गांव में जो रहते हैं, लाइक वो दे आर स्टेइंग देयर, बिना शादी करके एक लड़का को लड़की देखना तो उनकी नज़र में तो इट्स नॉट गुड. So they are the one who are spoiling this. You asked to the Natupur councillor, he told me right in the face, these migrants, they are doing openly everything whatever they want, they are spoiling the image. The councillor of Natupur in 2018 told me like this. The locals have money here. If something like that it happens also, they can hire anybody, anyone by money to do some harm to you. And this is quite prevalent in Gurgaon. So that is something that you have to think about. Because I heard about some, you pay a person 5,000 and then a person can be killed for 5,000.
No, that can't be true.
Yeah, that's happened. You hire someone from Mewat to do something to you, the person for 5,000, 10,000. We have no, for 10,000 they have killed the person.
Really?
Yeah.
And gotten away with it?
Yeah. For example, in a place like Mewat here, even the police find it difficult to enter that village, in that area. Because I have experienced that also, no? Because about a boy who comes from Mewat, like something, the Delhi police, like a case against him was there, the inspector doesn't want to go to that place. They instead tell us as an organization, if you have the means, if you have that kind of connection and influence, let the boy bring here to the police station, we will solve out the matter. But they go is the matter, but that kind of thing, like sometimes certain areas are there where the police even like feel hesitate to go interfere or go. It's there. For the working class women also, normally while they are going up and down and all, that certain sexual assault will come on the road and all, that circumstance is very rare, but it may happen from someone who is known to them or within the domestic. even in the place where I stay, where domestic violence, if they are taking place, it's happening behind the closed doors. I do not know aware it unless and until the family or the women comes forward and speaks about it. We are not aware about it because everything behind closed doors here in the society where I stay and all. Everything problems is within the four walls of their house until someone speaks up. But what I see in the women, in the working class women, or with the women who are working in the informal sector, is that since the nature of the residence where they store is very crowded, very like the wall is so thin for others not even to hear. For example, like I think since we have visited together in another urban village here in Gurgaon, when the husband was beating the wife, the domestic violence is happening. We know that, and the entire neighborhood or in that plot knows about it, and they even hear about the women, the husband beating the husband, and some of the even neighbors try to go and intervene. That why you are doing like this has become too much like that. So when this kind of thing happens in this kind of a settlement, things are known very easily. But in a gated society or in the society where I stay, you just cannot go and knock on someone's door and interfere. This is the difference. This is also a disadvantage.
Have you ever heard anything?
In the present, in where I'm staying, I haven't heard echo because we live and to some extent like an island. I don't know the person who is opposite where I stay, like the opposite flat where I stay. I've never even said hi, hello to them, to my neighbor. To some neighbor whom I know, I speak to them, but I haven't heard. But that's what I'm telling you, that everything is behind closed doors, so you cannot know about it. But I hear about this in other society. Once when I like started this job, even my first daughter, like when she was almost 6 months, there was no one to look even after my child also. I had to wake up early, carry her, and then I had my sister in Delhi, and I would take her to Delhi first, and then again after that I would come back. It's very difficult in a like with a family and a small child. Even when I do not have someone to take care of a child, my husband also is working. I used to take my child, and I even attend, conduct or training programs like that with my child on my lap. Then here she will write.
Do you have to keep your mask on? I can take it out.
I came across for a case in which the father was trying to sexually assault his own daughter, and the mother came to know about it, and then she called at around 10 o'clock at night. This is a case of a domestic worker who was said living in an urban village that is in Sikandarpur area. At that time, I have a small child, and as you say that mothering, caring of gender role being played with me, I cannot just leave my child like that. And at that time of the night, to go to that village also, there was at the time the restriction was there that at this time of the night you cannot do such thing. So I was thinking, if I have been a male, that kind of restriction that this has become night, you cannot just like that, and then if you go at this time of the night, there will be trouble in the family. So I was not able to go physically for that women, but I had to call up the local police there in the police station, and I had to inform and take the support of some of our other members who stay nearby to give support to that domestic worker, that till the time the police comes, you just close the door and don't let the men to go outside. But the physical presence that it could have fastened up the process, it was delayed because of that. Because even I was also restricted from my family, that this is late, this has become too much. Either you think of your family or about yourself, if you want to start a fight in the family, or you don't want to listen to the others, your family is important or your work is more important. I had to make food for the family. I have to feed my child. I have to make my child look after, and those kind of things. So if I go away at that time, it will be like neglecting my child. So in a family, if you wanted to do your own way, or just because you think much about the others than about yourself or your family, is it a healthy thing that you are doing? So it was like a tough situation. On the other side, reaching out to that women, I felt that's my duty to do. On the other side also, I have to see the family also. So there was this pull and push. And if I don't listen to my husband at that time, because he was saying it was late at night, how can you go at this time also? If I go against that also, that definitely there's going to be a conflict. There's going to be a certain kind of an argument. So it was something like, is that argument necessary? Is it feel like you are submitting yourself to the gendered role? So that kind of question was there in my mind as a human person. Even like being a woman also, sometimes like whether it's when an internal argument happens in a family or whether it's outside, when you are dealing with a male gender, if you talk a little bit loud, harsh, or something, words which they think is not feminine. One guy, he was saying like that, you are telling me like this because it's in office, or you think that being in your position that you are telling me like this. Do you even speak or argue like this in your own family? Then what your husband may say.
He said that to you.
He said that to me, the person, because his complaints was very serious and it was like hurting the sentiment of many people. And he was talking and speaking in the way as if like he's talking in his family, not like an office space. Like for an office in atmosphere, the way he talked, the argument he put up, raising his voice was not allowed. So we have to silence him. And in order to silence him, the words that we told him was something he did not expect it from a woman's mouth to come up. Just shut up, sit up, or you will be kicked out. So he was something like a woman can never tell him like that. So he was telling that, do I use this kind of words even in your own home? If it used, what will your family member will say like that? So it was saying to me, I meant that, my God, how dare that these men are able to carry. If it's a man, will he be able to speak to me like that? If it had been another male in the same position where I was. Still being a female, being a woman, you have to encounter like this, even in your home front or even in the office space also, like a certain kind of role, a kind of thing that within that you have to play that role. But the context made a woman like me to speak in that language, he doesn't realize that. Though even in the family also, like people will always say like that, oh my God, like this type of words should not be used with your husband, with your father, with your brother. We have been also told like that. So like you have been imbibed in that way, like for example, like always argumenting or putting up or questioning or countering a male member in your family will not be a very healthy environment. I have been told many times like this. You know, there is lots of intimate partner violence happening place, and even domestic violence also. If you talk with the husband or if you talk with the wife, the story, the narrative is different. So my wife is like that because of this, like she made me angry or she angers me, and she does things which I don't want her to do. This kind of, from the wife side also, the narrative is different. I've been trying my best adapting to this and all, but at the end, especially in the intimate partner violence and domestic violence, from this context only I will say that this patriarchal notion of being a woman, how you should behave, what you should behave, and that you should listen to your husband. And it's like some sort of equal partnership in the relationship or unequal way is there. That's what I say, because you being a woman, you confined or you play or you stay within that structure. That is the thing is there. No, because once you cross, if the man feels that you are crossing the boundary, then the problem starts. This is something that we have been seeing like that. For example, with the women with whom that we have associated with, it's related to dowry matter. But it's not like direct dowry issue that you give me this much, you bring this much money in the house, or you give this one, otherwise this will take happen. It's not like that. But it's kind of a slow mental harassment that which the women is pressured to do. So this we have been feeling, I would say, more than physical violence or physical harassment, mental is more to women, because she is pressurized in many ways, but she is not able to speak up. But many women also accepted it that if this is my life, if I have to live like this, my family structure is like this, means I have to submit to this kind of life. There is a kind of that acceptance, because the Indian notion of once I got married, I cannot go back to my maternal home. In the years of my working together with many years, a woman in the name of Izzat, or it's a family matter, hides everything, keep quiet. But once it comes out to public means that ek bardast ki bahar means that I cannot control anymore. So we know that a certain limit has crossed. That's why she came out. Yes, nowadays, like at least some of the like more literate and educated girls and all, they are freely, frankly, and coming out. But with the majority of the people which we are working, 80% do not come out just like that. They only come out when certain limits has crossed. A woman's role, whether you are in any caste or class, or whether you are working in a company, or you are literate or you are educated, is almost similar everywhere. This is across caste, class, and education. Somewhere other, you are not able to escape from this role, because that gendered profile has been structured in the society.
I'm not cool.
Mi memang napakanood dumay na. Mi loy mag jacket din.
I know.
See, everybody is wearing jacket.
Can somebody take a picture of that? That's a
It's,
cute bird.